Relationships can be one of life's greatest joys. They bring connection, love, and moments that shape who we are. But when a woman pulls away, whether it's emotional distance or a full breakup, something shifts. The ground beneath you feels unsteady. Your instinct might be to chase, to explain, to beg for her to come back. You might think, if I just say the right thing, she'll see my worth. But here's the truth. Words rarely bring her back. In fact, the more you chase, the further she slips away. What if I told you that the key to flipping the script isn't in what you say, but in what you don't say? That your absence, your silence, can speak louder than any plea. Today we're diving into a transformative approach to handling breakups or emotional distance. This isn't about playing games or manipulating emotions. It's about reclaiming your self-respect, mastering your presence, and becoming the man she can't forget. Not because you begged for her attention, but because you had the strength to walk away, and mean it. In this video, I'm going to walk you through 6 powerful steps to navigate this challenging moment. These steps will help you rebuild your confidence, rediscover your value, and create a presence so magnetic that it shifts the dynamic whether she comes back or not. This is about becoming the best version of yourself, not just for her, but for you. So let's get started. Step 1. Withdraw all emotional access. Let's begin with a hard truth. When a woman pulls away, your first instinct might be to flood her with attention, texts, calls, apologies, explanations. You think, if I can just make her see how much I care, she'll come back. But here's the reality. Emotional access is like currency. The more you give it away freely, the less it's worth. Every text you send, every call you make, every time you like her social media post, it's like handing over your value without her earning it. And when she's pulling away, that flood of attention only makes her feel less interested. Why? Because predictability kills attraction. Think about it. When you're always there, always responding, always available, you become a constant in her life, something she can take for granted. It's human nature. We value what's scarce, not what's abundant. So the first step to reclaiming your power is to withdraw all emotional access. This doesn't mean throwing a tantrum or blocking her dramatically. It's not about being petty or manipulative. It's about quietly, calmly, and confidently removing yourself from her emotional orbit. Stop texting her. Stop calling. Stop liking her posts or commenting on her stories. Don't show up in her inbox with apologies or explanations. Every time you resist the urge to reach out, you take back a piece of your power. This isn't easy. It takes discipline. Your mind will scream, just one more text, just one more call. But every time you give in, you're devaluing yourself further. This withdrawal creates something powerful, a void. A void she hasn't felt before because you've always been there, filling it. That absence forces her to confront the reality of your absence. And here's where the magic happens. When you stop feeding her emotional feedback, you become mysterious. Mystery is attractive. It's what makes her wonder. What's he doing? Why isn't he reaching out? Has he moved on? That curiosity is far more powerful than any words you could say. But this isn't just about her. Withdrawing emotional access is about you reclaiming your self-respect. It's about saying, I am enough and I don't need to beg for anyone's attention. It's a silent declaration of your worth, and trust me, that silence speaks louder than any emotional outburst ever could. Step 2, master your presence. Become unbothered, calm, and focused. Now that you've started withdrawing emotional access, it's time to focus on you. Step 2 is about mastering your presence, becoming a man who is unbothered, calm, and focused no matter what's happening around you. Too many men let their sense of self-worth be tied to a woman's actions, her silence, her distance, her mood. It becomes a roller coaster that dictates how they feel about themselves. But here's the thing. When you're reactive, you're handing over your power. You become an open book, easy to read, easy to dismiss. Mastering your presence means stepping off that roller coaster. It's about cultivating a state of being where you're genuinely unmoved by things you can't control. A man with true presence doesn't break under pressure. He doesn't chase validation. He doesn't react to emotional games. His calm, focused energy is a silent statement of self-assurance that commands respect. So how do you do this? It starts with your internal dialogue. When she pulls away, your mind might spiral with questions like, why did she leave? What did I do wrong? Stop, rewrite that script. Instead, tell yourself, her choices are hers. My choice is how I respond. This simple shift changes everything. It moves you from a place of desperation to a place of control. You stop obsessing over what you can't change and start investing in what you can. Your purpose, your growth, your mission. Presence isn't just about how you look or what you say. It's about the energy you carry. It's in how you walk into a room, how you listen more than you talk, how you act with intention rather than reaction. A man with mastered presence doesn't need to shout his worth. He embodies it. And that embodiment is magnetic. Here's a practical tip. Practice being still. In moments of emotional chaos, train yourself to pause. Take a breath. Don't react immediately. That pause is where your power lies. It's where you show you're not controlled by your emotions or her actions. Over time, this practice rewires how you show up in the world. You become the man who isn't swayed by fear or desperation. You become the man who carries a quiet confidence that speaks louder than any outburst. Music builds varying strength and resolve. Step 3, redirect your attention to personal growth. Let's talk about step 3, redirecting your attention to personal growth. After a breakup or emotional distance, it's easy to fall into the trap of chasing external validation. You might pour all your energy into fixing the situation, fixing her feelings, or fixing yourself in a way that you think will win her back. But that's a losing game. It's rooted in desperation, and nothing repels more than a man who's lost his center. The game changer is redirecting all that energy inward. This isn't about becoming better for her. It's about becoming better for you. It's about rising above emotional dependency and investing in your own evolution. Start by taking a hard look at your life. Where have you been slacking? What areas have you neglected? Your health, your career, your mindset, your purpose. Assess them honestly. Let's break it down. First, physical discipline. Get back to the gym, not to build a revenge body, but to commit to yourself. Exercise isn't just about looking good. It's about feeling strong, disciplined, and in control. Second, mental growth. Pick up a book, learn a new skill, challenge your mind. This isn't about impressing anyone. It's about sharpening your mental edge. Third, your career and purpose. Set goals that scare you. Push yourself out of your comfort zone. When you're working towards something bigger than yourself, you stop obsessing over what you've lost. Here's why this works. Growth is magnetic. When you focus on becoming better, you change how you carry yourself. Your energy shifts. You walk taller, speak with more conviction, and exude a confidence that's impossible to ignore. And the best part? You detach from the outcome with her. You're no longer moving from a place of trying to get her back. You're moving from a place of getting yourself back. As you grow, your emotional world stabilizes. You stop seeking closure or chasing explanations because you realize those things don't define your worth. Your journey of growth becomes a silent, undeniable presence that speaks for itself. And trust me, people notice when a man is on his path. Shift to an inspiring, forward-moving tone. Step 4, let silence be your strongest statement. Now we're at step 4, letting silence be your strongest statement. Silence is one of the most misunderstood tools in relationships. Most men think being silent means doing nothing, accepting defeat. But silence is one of the most powerful forms of communication, especially when a woman pulls away. Your instinct might be to explain, to justify, to plead, but in those moments your words often fall on deaf ears. This isn't passive silence born out of fear or confusion. This is active silence, a conscious choice to let your lack of reaction speak volumes. It's about removing yourself from emotional tug-of-wars, from arguments, from attention-seeking behavior or manipulative tactics. Silence is your way of saying, I will not entertain energy that doesn't align with my peace. Here's how it works. When you stop responding, you create a boundary without saying a word. You're not giving her the cold shoulder out of spite. You're protecting your dignity. Most people expect you to fight for their attention, to plead, to explain. When you don't, you take that power off the table. Her mind has nothing to react to, so it starts to wander. She's forced to sit with her own thoughts, her own choices. That's when your absence starts to echo. Silence also protects you. In moments where words would make you look desperate or weak, silence keeps you strong. It shows a level of self-mastery most men never reach. And here's the thing, the impact of silence isn't always instant. Many men break their silence too soon, looking for a reaction. But silence works in the long term. It creates a shift in the dynamic that she can't ignore. While words can be debated or dismissed, silence is an undeniable reality. Step 5. Make her feel the gap. Don't chase to fill it. Step 5 is about making her feel the gap without chasing to fill it. When a woman pulls away, your instinct is to close that distance. You want to reach out, fix things, make it right. But by chasing, you're telling her you fear the gap more than you respect yourself. You're showing her that your value depends on her presence. That's not power, that's desperation. The real power lies in letting her feel the gap. Space isn't your enemy, it's your ally. When you don't chase, you send a message. You're comfortable in your own world, even if she's not in it. This isn't about punishing her or manipulating her emotions. It's about refusing to devalue yourself by begging for her attention. Think of it like this. Your absence becomes a mirror. It reflects what she took for granted. Your energy, your attention, your presence. When you're always there, she never feels the weight of losing you. But when you step back, you create a vacuum. Human nature hates a vacuum. Her mind starts to wander. Her heart starts to question. That curiosity grows in the space you've allowed. This flips the script. You go from being the man desperately holding on to the man who knows his worth. You're not closing the gap, you're letting it exist. And in that space, she has the chance to realize what she's lost. Your absence becomes louder than any words you could say. Step 6. Allow time to make her curious, not your words. Finally, step 6. Allow time to make her curious, not your words. Most men rush to fill the silence with explanations, reassurances, or attempts to fix what feels broken. But words, especially when spoken too soon or too often, lose their impact. The more you explain, the less she hears. The more you try to convince, the more she resists. Patience is your greatest weapon here. Time creates curiosity in a way words never can. When you stop reaching out, stop trying to manage her perception of you, you leave her mind wide open. The human mind naturally fills in blanks. When you give her nothing to react to, she starts to wonder, what's he doing? Has he moved on? Is he okay without me? That curiosity starts small, but over time it grows. It's not something you forced, it's something she created within herself. And that's why it's so powerful. By staying silent and patient, you show emotional control. You prove you're not desperate, not fragile. You're a man who knows real attraction can't be forced. While you're waiting, you're not sitting around hoping for her to come back. You're living your life, you're building yourself, staying committed to your growth, your purpose. The paradox is, the less you try to make her curious, the more curious she becomes. Time does the work for you. Conclusion. Self-respect in action. Let's bring it all together. When a woman pulls away, the way to win her back or to move forward stronger than ever isn't through chasing or pleading. It's through self-respect in action. Women don't come back because you convince them with words. They come back when your absence makes them feel the weight of your presence. Here's what you've learned today. Withdraw your emotional access to reclaim your power. Master your presence to become calm, focused, and unbothered. Redirect your energy to personal growth, your health, mind, and purpose. Let silence be your strongest statement, not your words. Allow her to feel the gap you once filled without chasing to close it. Let time create curiosity, not your explanations. This isn't just a strategy, it's a way of life. It's about becoming a man who commands respect, curiosity, and genuine attraction, whether she comes back or not. By following these steps, you're not just surviving a breakup, you're thriving through it. You're building a version of yourself that's unshakable, magnetic, and grounded in self-worth. So, take a deep breath, step back, focus on you, and let your silence, your growth, and your absence do the talking. You've got this.